than they would normally. But we do have, well, we'll wait until Kathy calls the roll, but I think that we've got enough members here for a quorum this evening. Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Byrd, Vreeman, Raymond, Corbin, Soul,
Here.
Rowan,
Here.
Shea,
Here.
Schulteis,
Present.
Mayor Box.
Present.
We do have a quorum.
Great, thank you. We're going to begin this evening as we have for many years, first with an opening prayer, followed immediately by the Pledge of Allegiance. And I would invite you to join us if you are so inclined. Please pray with me if you're so inclined. Lord, thank you for the blessings of a new year. Thank you for the opportunity for some respite over the holidays, the many holidays that we celebrate across this community. An opportunity to be with family and to be with friends and to reflect on days gone by, people that we may have lost over the years, and the great relationships that we have with those around us. Lord, also thank you for the opportunity of a new year, of new exciting things to come, and the opportunity to serve the people of the city of Holland. Lord, let us take this responsibility seriously. Let us listen as we did tonight at Coffee with Council. Let us take that information from our constituents and from staff members in upcoming days and weeks, and to do the things that are not only pleasurable to you, but are in service of the people of the city of Holland. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on our agenda is item 4, the consent agenda. These are items that are considered to be fairly routine, and they have been previously reviewed by council members as part of our packet, and they will be enacted in one motion unless a member of the public or a member of council asks to have an item removed from the consent agenda and placed in its regular order on the regular agenda. And I will ask if anyone wants to do that after Kathy has reviewed the consent agenda for us. Kathy, would you please do that?
4A, absence excused. 4B, approval of minutes, December 20, 2023 regular meeting. 4C, oaths of office. 4D, Planning Commission, fiscal year 2023 annual report, accept as information. 4E, City Attorney, Holland Civic Center Place ordinance update. 4F, City Clerk, claims filed against the city. 4G, Parks and Recreation Services, Collin Park bathroom building roof replacement award bid. 4H, Finance, October financial reports. 4I, Finance Purchasing, approved purchase of 2 hybrid police detective vehicles. 4J, Management and Administrative Services, Washington Square Business Improvement District Board of Director appointments. 4K, Management and Administrative Services, South Shore Village Business Improvement District Board of Director appointments. 4L, Management Administrative Services, Residential Sidewalk Variance Request for 845 Maple Avenue. 4M, Management Administrative Services, Engage Frost Center for 2024 Resident Survey.
Great, thank you, Kathy. Is there any member of the public that would like to have an item removed from the consent agenda and placed in its regular order on the regular agenda? Seeing none. Any member of council, I only have to look to my left tonight. Any member of the council that would like to have an item removed from consent and placed on the regular agenda? Seeing none. What is the pleasure of council in regard to the consent agenda?
Move to approve.
We've got a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there support?
Support.
Support. Moved by Soul, support by Rowan. Any discussion? Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Soul,
Yes.
Rowan,
Yes.
Shea,
Yes.
Schulteis,
Yes.
Mayor Box.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great, thank you. Next item on the agenda, item 5, public comment. As part of the Open Meetings Act of the state of Michigan, we allow the opportunity for the public to speak to council at our regular meetings. Also, there is an opportunity at every one of our board, committee, and commission meetings. We do have some guidelines in regard to public comment. One, each person may speak only one time. You're limited to 5 minutes, and we are strict about that. There are 3 lights on the dais in front of me. There's a green light, a yellow light, and a red light. Green light means you're doing well on time. Yellow light means your time has, you've got 1 minute left, and the red light means that your time has expired. We do also want to make note that this is one-way communication. It's an opportunity for you to speak to us. We don't engage in discussion at this time. We don't answer questions at this time. But if there is a question, the staff may be able to answer and circle around to you after the meeting. We ask that when you approach the microphone, you please state your name and the municipality in which you live. We do that because we want to make sure we know whether we're talking to somebody who's a resident of the city of Holland or not. With that, is there anyone here who would like to address council at this time? If so, please come forward. And would you please state your name and municipality for the record?
Ann Henriksen, Zealand, and Happy New Year, everyone. I have gone back through my files to see what this ordinance, anti-discrimination ordinance, and its history. So from now on, you're going to hear a little bit about that. And in doing that, it brought this article, brought up a memory of something back in 2020. And this is current. A farmer gets $825,000 in East Lansing discrimination case. Lansing, Michigan, the city of East Lansing has brought a religious freedom lawsuit working through the federal courts since 2017 to a conclusion. On Friday, the U.S. District Court Judge Paul Maloney signed a final judgment and permanent injunction in the case involving Country Mill Farms and owner Steve Tennis. Under the agreement, the city will pay Tennis $41,199 in damages. His attorney, ADF, Alliance Defending Freedom, will receive $783,801 for representing Tennis in court. And if you think about the years this has gone through, it was 2020 when I took this article of East Lansing tossing this man off their market because the case stems from Tennis' refusal to host a same-sex wedding on his Charlotte property. The city of East Lansing determined Tennis was in violation of the East Lansing Human Rights Ordinance and barred him from participating in the city's family market. Tennis sued, claiming his religious freedoms was being violated by the city action. And why this is important, because of your ordinance that you have in place. And in 2020, I took the proposal for the ordinance and took it to the market and distributed among the people, the vendors, and with a letter saying that this was, the city council was going to vote on this, and they were in danger if they discriminated. And they all said, well, we wouldn't discriminate, which they wouldn't, but it had to do with this man's business, other business. So it opened up the door to something, and the struggle and the intimidation, his business, he almost lost his farm because of it, and Alliance Defending Freedom is the ones that have pulled and kept it going and finally got a judgment against the city. So when you hear those figures, think that through, that this ordinance is still in action right here in Holland. It's interesting that I believe the Civic Center is over the market, because one of the vendors told me that they received an email from whoever is over the market saying there's this woman coming around with information, just disregard her. When in fact they were in danger from this, going into this thing. If you look at the ordinance, and I've asked you to, and I'm looking at it, it is punitive. And anybody who is in this, look at the process, see what happens to it. This ordinance came from the state. This was not something that the people, the city, got. It was the city manager and the lawyer. They got it from the Civil Rights Commission of Michigan. and they wrote this and then gave it to us, and it was passed. So I'm not through with this. Just take a good hard look at it. This is how many years later, and what could happen with this ordinance. I think it needs to be revisited. Of course, it probably won't be, but in that case, I've asked it before, if it's not visited, then whatever happens, you're going to have to deal with it. So I'm just asking you to go back through it, see if this is something you still want for the city. That's what I'm recommending. And you're new to the council, so it would be good to have fresh eyes see it. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address council at this time? And would you please state your name and municipality for the record?
Certainly. Good evening. My name is Ryan Bennett. I'm with UA Local 174, and we're out of Coopersville. I wanted to stop by this evening. We have some concerns about incentivizing developments, and those developments coming to town and bringing investment, and kind of bypassing the effort to hire local construction workers. I'm speaking specifically about the LG development just south of town here. While we're thankful for the many construction jobs they have brought to town, we think there could be a better effort made to engage local construction workers. There is a large presence of foreign construction workers on this project currently. They're from various states and even some from outside of the United States. And we feel as the construction community that these jobs, while incentivized by taxpayer dollars, should be provided to Michigan and West Michigan residents as a first priority. So as you look at these projects as a council, and as even Allegan or Holland County or even the state of Michigan, we just ask that instead of solely focusing on the jobs that come once the development is built and up and running, that there is some way to tie local construction jobs to that economic package. Because if we want a strong and thriving construction community, which I believe that we all do in West Michigan and in the state of Michigan, it's important that we don't leave them out of that equation when we're offering the taxpayers' dollars to incentivize these projects to locate here. So Happy New Year, and thank you all for the work that you do, especially this half of the table. As a union representative, if I were, so inclined to bargain on your behalf, I would ask for at least 10% hazard pay for making it through the holidays and here this evening. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address council at this time? Seeing none, I will close the public comment period. Next item on our agenda this evening, item number 9, written petitions and communications. In addition to allowing the opportunity for the public to address us in person at our meetings, we do also have an email address that you can use to send emails to council. It is publiccomment@cityofholland.com. We collect those emails in between our regular meetings, and during our regular meetings, we accept them into the record. We don't read them aloud at the meetings, but council does read them as part of our packet. And we do have one comment this evening, and I would ask council, what is your pleasure in regard to the public comment this evening? I'd entertain a motion to accept that into the record.
Move to accept it into the record.
Moved by Sol. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Rowan. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is all the way up to item 12E 6.1, gifts. Kathy, would you please review the gifts for us?
The city manager's office is pleased to report the following gifts: Park and Recreation, Sal Perez Youth Scholarship Fund, deduction employees reporting dates, July 1, 2023 through December 21, 2023, $835.50. It is recommended that these donations be accepted with appreciation, credited to the appropriate account, and an expression of gratitude be forwarded to said donors.
Great, thank you. Kathy, what is the pleasure of council in regard to the gifts?
Move to approve said gifts with a token of our appreciation.
Moved by Sol. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Schulteis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, item 12E 6.2, Human Resources, reclassification of finance position. Mr. Van Peek, I think this is the longest we've gone in a meeting, at least as far down the agenda, before we've had you speak at the meeting. Happy New Year. Welcome
I'm
back.
not sure how to take that, Mr. Mayor.
In the best way possible.
Absolutely. Thank you, and Happy New Year also to you, Mayor, and to Council, and to those here in person and watching either live or later on a recording. The item, I'm going to ask our Finance Director, Lynn McCammon, to come up. Lynn is not only in the position of being the person that watches the purse strings and always fly specs requests such as this when they come forward and discusses these items with me and Jen Orm from an HR perspective, but also is the department that would benefit from this request. And it's certainly a request that comes with the recommendation from Lynn, from Jennifer Orm, HR Director, and certainly for myself as City Manager. So Lynn will walk us through the rationale behind this and the budget implications. Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Box and members of City Council. Included in your packet was a request for the reclassification of a current part-time municipal accountant 1 position to make it a full-time position. And sort of the reason why I'm coming with this request is we had a long-term employee in this position who resigned actually in January of 23. And so we had attempted to fill it earlier this year, and as you can imagine, the market's a little tough, so we were unable to do so. So the position still remains open, and we are in desperate need of getting this filled, especially because we have the implementation of the new software system coming up. Actually, we had a kickoff this morning. We have another all-day meeting Friday, and a lot more activity, as you can imagine, to get a system implemented. Not only is finance going to be instrumental in leading that project, but we also have to lead the project to implement the MAX transportation system and the library system because we provide those financial services. So as you can imagine, we're quite busy, so we really need to have this position and then some. So the budget currently had an amount for a consulting fee plus the part-time, and just the fact that we haven't filled it for so long, we have plenty of money in this year's budget to cover that cost. And then you may ask, well, what happens, after the projects are done? Do we still need a part-time? Well, fortunately, actually unfortunately, we were notified that a long-term employee has announced that she will be resigning later this calendar year. And so at that point, we should have most of the systems implemented, and we'll have the time to reevaluate if we can go back to the other staffing level, which I would anticipate. So that, I feel, is going to be budget neutral going forward after the system implementations are finished. And it will allow a little time for succession planning with this key position. Literally, this employee, I think, has been here 38 years. So a lot of institutional knowledge, right? So that is why I'm coming to you with this request this evening, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you, Lynn. Any questions from council? Yes, Ms. Soul.
Lynn, thank you. So, am I understanding another employee is retiring, or did I misunderstand?
Yes, so the
Okay.
one resigned, retired, and
Okay.
now another full-time position is retiring, so in mid-2024.
Okay. So we do this, I remember this position being part-time.
Right.
It was, and then, so yeah, no, it sounds like perfect timing so that we're,
Right, it's that silver lining.
getting fully staffed, and then, we'll be, so just for the time that, we need. So, no, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions for staff? Mr. Schulteis.
Is it kind of ballpark, is what we're potentially signing up for is increasing the staffing, which if that's the right answer, that's the right answer. If we were to keep 2 full-time positions into the next fiscal year, what would the ballpark budget impact be?
With benefits, the ballpark impact would probably be about $40,000 in the finance department.
Thanks.
Any other questions for staff? And I know it's in the report, but just for the public, this is not going to be anything that's going to require any change to the budget because we've budgeted for this position already, correct?
Correct. We have more than enough funding, and so it would just be the change in the count of the employment from the part-time to the full-time.
Okay, great. Thank you. What is the pleasure of council in regard to this item?
Move to approve?
Moved by Sol. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Schulteis. Any discussion? Seeing none. Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Rowan,
Yes.
Shay,
Yes.
Schulteis,
Yes.
Soul,
Yes.
Mayor Box.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great, thank you.
So a full-time municipal accountant position, if anyone's interested.
I knew there was a reason why you were staying up there. That's a plug, and it's going to be posted as well on the city's website, correct? Absolutely, great, thank you. So looking for a good finance person, appreciate that. Next item on the agenda, item 13, communications from the city manager, 6:20.
It's only 6:20. We're doing well tonight. So I really don't have much. You see that I pulled up as far as an announcements, the Coffee with Council this Saturday, 9 to 11:30 in the atrium at the Civic Center. You know, everyone takes a little bit of a break. Certainly, some of our office staff took some breaks over the holidays. We have many staff that are 24/7 operations. So just a shout out to them for their dedication and being available and keeping people safe over the holidays. But I won't say much more. That this appears to be a short meeting tonight, but we're going to make up for it because the rest of January, right, we really dive into the entire preparation for budget videos and then the council retreat. And so I guess no apologies or too much celebration that it appears you have a short meeting tonight, because we're going to make up for it moving forward. So that's all I have other than continued thank you, and look forward to a great 2024.
Great, thank you. Next item on the agenda, appointments and communications from the mayor. I do have an appointment this evening. I'm recommending to council that they approve the appointment of Susan Skirman to the Civic Center Place Board with a term expiring June 30, 2026, to replace Michael Schulteis, effective November 13, 2023. What is the pleasure of council in regard to this recommendation?
So moved.
Moved by Schulteis. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Rowan. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. And I think that what's on the screen right now is a reminder to me, or at least to somebody on City Council. We did have, prior to the meeting this evening, we had coffee with council from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is the beginning of our annual budget process. This is an opportunity for the public to speak directly to council members and to the mayor and to key members of staff. We are having a second coffee with council this Saturday morning at the Holland Civic Center Place atrium from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It is an informal opportunity for you to speak about whatever you want, to be face-to-face with council members, with the mayor, with members of staff. There are always great refreshments as well. We know that brings people out. I believe when this picture was taken, there were pig in the blankets in the background. Can't promise anything for this Saturday, but there will be something good there for you. As I said, this is the beginning of our budget process. We move from this to next week at study session. We'll be receiving input from staff members about what they are doing, what they're looking toward doing for the next 18 months. Our fiscal year is from July 1 to June 30. We've got 6 months to go before we start that next fiscal year, so we've got things going on the next 6 months, but then also planning for that following fiscal year. And then we'll be doing our retreat later in the month, and then staff will start putting the budget together, and we'll look at approval of that budget in early part of May. This is the most important thing that this council does on an annual basis. We are the stewards of the taxpayers' dollars for the city of Holland. We want to know what the taxpayers of the city of Holland believe is important, so please take this opportunity, come out on Saturday morning, get a pig in the blanket, talk to your council members, and let us know what you think. And that is all that I have this evening. Next, item number 15, appointments, motions, and communications from council members. Anything from council members this evening? Ms. Rowan.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody. And also just to communicate a little bit of the process that we newbies have undergone since joining council. The city manager has hosted several orientation meetings for those of us who are brand new to city council. We received a book about yay thick and, with instructions. Yeah, of course I have it memorized. But in addition to that, we've had several sessions where the city manager and the other day the assistant city manager took us to the various departments throughout the city where we got the inside scoop on how those departments function. So our very first meeting a few weeks back was with the police department. It was wholly impressive, informative. Not only did we get the audience with the chief of police, but we got a thorough tour of the jail and every other portion of the police department, which was really wonderful. Last week, we got to visit the Parks and Recreation and Cemeteries Department, the Transportation Department. We got a backwoods view of the Civic Center. Gave a congratulations to one of our long-term employees who was retiring, so that was very thoughtful of our city manager to incorporate that into our tour. And then lastly, we had a tour of Holland Park Fire Department and got to ride a fire truck, you know, and me without my phone to take pictures. But I just wanted to give a little background intel to the efforts that are being made to not only show us the cool things in the city, but to make it impactful to those of us who are sitting on this side of the table to understand the depth that the people that work for the city of Holland care, the pride that they take in their jobs, and it's working. You know, I'm completely geeked out about everything that I've been exposed to, and I just wanted to say thank you for that exposure. But more importantly, thanks to the folks that fill those jobs, because it's just really enlightening to see not only the fruits of their efforts, but the effort and the pride that they take in their jobs. So thanks for that experience. I look forward to more. I think we still have some BPW tours to undertake. But the other takeaway from those meetings was that I think every one of those department heads extended an offer to, me to follow up. But also, I think the general public, I don't know if they want to be inundated with people asking for tours, but certainly if they're interested in learning more about any particular department and where the tax dollars go and how it's being spent, it pays to ask those questions. And I think every one of them was very approachable. So I would encourage people who have questions about how their city runs to, talk directly to the folks that are running the department that they're interested in. So again, thank you for that experience. I appreciate it, and I look forward to more, and hopefully that will help me perform in the work that I'm doing here on City Council. So thanks again, and Happy New Year. Looking forward to it.
Great. Thank you. Any other motions, appointments, communications from council members? Ms. Soul.
I just want to echo in my native tongue, Feliz Año Nuevo 2024, and just want to say thank you for the opportunity to work alongside the City Council manager and all the team leads and all the employees here at City of Holland. But I wanted to invite our constituents definitely to join us here at public sessions and study sessions. Invite you Saturday to, just speak with us. I know it can be a little intimidating and life gets busy, but we would welcome you to come and have a cup of coffee with us, if nothing less, just to say hi. And then also we invite you to check out our boards, committees, and commissions, that we're always looking for people to get involved. Together, we're stronger, and that's where it starts. So I'm excited to just extend that invite to you and to get to know our constituents on a personal level. So thank you, and hopefully we'll see you either here or somewhere out in the near future. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Any other motions, appointments, communications from council members? Seeing none. Just one more motion I would entertain at this time.
To adjourn. Motion to adjourn, please.
Moved by Soul. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Rowan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. We are adjourned. Have a wonderful evening.